Hey guys, I thought I would come over on here really quick. Now, as a lot of people in my life already know this about my personality, and when I find a an actor that I'm into, I tend to want to find other projects. My DVD collection is a prime example. I've got that much Jai Courtney. I've got a little bit of a Milo Manheim collection going. I love Hughesy. That's Hugh Jackman. And after I go and seen Iron Lung, I don't usually review TV shows, or at least miniseries on this. But yes, I went down a bit of a Mark um Mark Markiplier rabbit hole in a good way. Now Mark had done a TV series. He actually was in the original audio drama for Edge of Sleep, which I have listened to. You can find this particular one on your podcast of choice, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcast. I don't know if it's on Podbean. I haven't looked, but after seeing the TV show, I decided to listen to the audio drama. I'm planning to pick up the book as well. And one thing I would say about the TV show Edge of Sleep, it's very unique. I would pretty much put it as a let's put it more like under the idea of like a psychological like realism. Now, the whole concept of the world that they've created within the show and the podcast, audio drama podcast, it's hard to really describe. I would also probably say the book is very similar to this as well. The whole concept is we follow Dave, Mateo, and a few other survivors. Now, the night before, the night we actually meet Dave and Mateo at their work as nighttime guards, when you fall asleep in this world, you do not wake up. And a cult has sort of gone in and wiped out everyone. So you would go to sleep, and it's a little bit Nightmare on Elm Street sort of idea. If that makes sense. In the act, there's like a dream cult that tries to, the moment you sleep, you're controlled. And Dave has I'd say a psychological problem about him that he somehow is connected to this cult in a very weird and unique way, where he gets very vivid dreams about a whale and this cult group, and he's had this sort of affliction all his life, to the point that he actually killed a doctor that tried to help him when he was much younger. And for a while, it wasn't really affecting him until about a few months before the events of this particular story take place. And they invited to a party, and when they eventually get to the party, the only person he's really caring about is Katie, his on again, off again girlfriend, who knows a bit but not a lot about what happens to him. We see in a flashback that one night he carves a triangle into his chest. This happens not too beforehand, because he still has the scar on his chest when he actually started cutting himself. And the moment that he realizes something is truly wrong, he wants to go and get Katie. And they discovered that 3 minutes, you're out. Because they meet Lauren, who is a nurse at the local hospital. And she starts putting clues together about what is going wrong with these people. And they actually Dave says, well, I'll be the guinea pig. And they're like, Katie, Mateo are like, you're an absolute moron. He's like, you said 3 minutes, then you're out. Okay. Wake me up in 2.5. They do, and they actually get a message to go to an island. Now, Mateo is an Air Force pilot, but he did drones, not a full pilot. So he had to do some navigating, and they discovered that the island has pretty much nothing that's not equipped. So he scuttles the plane that they get into. And then they go and they start to relax. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened at the end, but on the top, it's very losty, and I would say very I think the characters that we follow, because it's a very small cast, it's pretty much you pretty much get, maybe you follow main 4, you see the doctor, you see his mom, you pretty much see this spiritual guy that Dave somehow knows in his dream. It's a very small cast, and I think that works to the benefit of it, that you're following a small group of characters. It's not a large group. I think if it was larger, you would get lost a little bit in everything. So I think the fact that it's small, contained, works well. And I think the actor that plays Mateo, I actually recognized him from his work in the Arrowverse. He was the second iteration of Firestorm. So that I knew him right off the bat. And so he was the only one that I recognized besides Mark himself. And their relationship is really, really established, and it's so really it feels like Mateo is very much the puller of the strings, especially early on. There's a really funny scene in episode 1 where Mark gets out of his work uniform into clothes. He's supposed to go to a party. He goes, You really got to dress like that. You really want to get your pickle tickled. And Mark's response is just so funny. I don't want my pickle tickled. I'm like, okay. And I think because he was also executive producers this um Mark, and I think he might have done a little bit of shadow editing on this as well. You could really feel that he really brought his A game. All the main four we see, Lauren, Mateo, Dave, and Katie, are really, really strong. And when Lauren comes into the dynamic of Mateo and Dave, it's a little fractured at first, but as the story goes along, you feel like she could be part of the group and friends with these two. And I love that. And I've seen this twice. Once on Temu, and then ironically, I found it on YouTube. So you can find this, and I think this is worth your day. Just binge the lot, and you will absolutely have a absolute ball of a time. So if you like things like Nightmare on Elm Street, Lost, Triangle also has that similar element. That's probably why I liked it a little bit. Small cast. Pretty much do that. I think brilliant. So if you sat through The Edge of Sleep, please write it down in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, there's a movie I wanted to go and check out, and I probably will be reviewing. Ciao.